Hey guys, Tyger here. Gonna run through some SCL predictions. I don't like watching long videos, so I don't want to keep this too long with fillers, so let's just go ahead and jump in. Week 2 of the SCL. First round up for NA, gonna be Eager versus Kingdom Esports. Both of these teams they caught a little bit of a bad break in the first week. Eager getting 2-0'd by Most Wanted. Kingdom Esports getting 2-0'd by Elevate, although that was a little bit of a closer matchup in my opinion. But for all sakes and purposes, Eager, I feel like, are going to be able to 2-0 over Kingdom Esports. Kingdom is a new team still. They're still finding their footing. Have a little bit of communication issues in some points. And while it was really close with Elevate, it wasn't necessarily enough. Eager have only made 2 swaps. It's not even with new people. It's just within the team, which has been relatively consistent throughout the last split. So I feel like it's a little bit closer for Eager, even though the synergy and the communication changes a little bit with the new people in the roles. Not gonna be as dire as Kingdom. They weren't able to lock down their wins against Elevate and instead get 0-2'd. So Team Eager taking it. Plus, there were some pretty questionable choices coming out from Kingdom Esports when it came to some of the roles. They just didn't work or whatnot. So gonna have to give that one to Eager. Round 2, Sora versus Kingdom Esports. Second matchup. Now Sora lost aggro to the casting desk, so they had to bring in some more people. And look at the roster real quick. And plus, on top of that, they brought in some just straight up new people. Stormy Rays and Despair coming from 2 different teams in the last split, gonna be on Sora now. It's a very big roster change up. But, I mean, Kingdom Esports are a whole new different team, so I feel like that kind of puts them on the somewhat of a level playing field. But, as mentioned, the picks coming out from Kingdom Esports, they weren't consistent. They didn't fit with some of the roles, or they may have been comfort picks. It wasn't enough, and they didn't really have the same effect that they wanted to. So I'm going to give that to Sora, because they lost to Aware Gaming last week. They were up against somebody who everybody thought, 95% of you thought they were going to take it. I was part of that. I thought that, Sora were going to be able to really step up and take out Aware, and they proved everybody wrong. The Aware boys did. So it's kind of like losing in the first round to the team that wins the tournament. You can't really feel too bad about that. So 2-0 Sora Gaming versus Kingdom Esports. Round 3, Most Wanted versus Elevate. We got to see 2 rounds of Most Wanted, having 4 games coming out from there, 2-2. While Elevate, we saw the 2-0 over Kingdom Esports. Now, consulting my notes. Elevate were very strong, but inconsistent. And that almost gave Kingdom the opening they needed to go ahead and take the game. They were really aggressive at some points too, and Kingdom weren't able to really punish them for that. But Most Wanted in the games versus Eager were able to completely punish them for any kind of aggression they may have had. So I feel like that's really gonna give Most Wanted a leg up on the competition against Elevate. Plus, I mean, there's not too much different with the roster, so nah, should be just fine for the boys of Most Wanted. Like I said, 2-2. It's not completely demoralizing, so as long as they keep their heads in the game, it's gonna go 2-0 to Elevate. Round 4. Elevate versus Aware Gaming. Doubleheader coming out from the Elevate boys next week. But they're up against Aware Gaming, who took both of their rounds in their own doubleheader 4-0. All 4 games. Very strong. Raising lots of eyebrows across the entire console community. And Smite PC community. But Aware, they were very consistent, very powerful. Prioritized Zeus all 4 games. Zeus played in that mid lane all 4 games, and it confused me because I'm like, why would you pick Zeus over Raijin, who has an escape? But, I mean, they made it work. Zeus is huge when it comes to these games, so I completely respect him for it. That was part of the win. The zoning, the damage. It really hedge-pinned in on that mid, and, at some points, even the jungle. They run in Thor, Nemesis, and Susano for the most part. So Elevate, as mentioned, barely squeaked by when it came to the games versus Kingdom Esports, so I think this is going to be an easy 2-0 for Aware Gaming, and that is NA. Yeah, no, I don't like long videos. I don't like watching them. I don't like making them. Round 2. Rival versus Cyclone. This one's a little harder to pin down. Okay? Let me open up Rival. Because Rival had some really good games. Yeah? Had some really good games against Retribution. Really taken... It's kind of a little bit of a grudge match at that point, too, because Retribution were the first seed coming in, you know, from the last split. Rival, they're second. Kind of just, you know, running the curtails there. But Rival really stepped up. Raijin in the jungle. I mean, the mid. Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna redo that for this. Raijin in the mid did a really good job. We saw a little bit of a Fender, a little bit of a Wheelix. The Wheelix Raijin combination in the first game, so much aggression. Now, that really just kind of started the slope for Rival in the first game. They weren't as aggressive in the second game, but still, man, I'm gonna put my page, by the way. Now, Cyclone, they were the new boys in town, coming in from the Challengers Cup and relegations. They're new, but their rotation game was really strong. We really started to see their dominating performance come out as soon as the solo started to rotate, and we really had the ADC online for those team fights. The first time Freya, in both games, came into the team fight, boom, it was over. It was Cyclones. So, there's a lot of focus in on that solo and ADC pick. I think that's very important. So it's gonna basically be aggression versus all the tricks that Cyclone have up their sleeve. I think that they're new. I think that Rival pretty dang consistent in the last split and doing pretty good so far after the first week. But I think Cyclone are gonna have enough to pull out the 1-1, and I think that's really important for Cyclone. I think this matchup is more important for Cyclone than it is for Rival. Rival, pretty dang good, but Cyclone, yeah, sure, people might think it's a fluke. No, Cyclone have a lot to prove, they have a lot to show, and I feel like being able to 1-1 with Rival is going to be really important. And last but not least, Retribution versus Excellence. Now, Excellence lost to Cyclone in last week, so it's kind of the same situation where you get first rounded by the team that wins the tournament. Sorry. But Retribution lost to Rival. Kind of the same with Kingdom. Some of their picks didn't necessarily work in those roles. While, you know, they were meant for those roles, the accuracy of some of the big clutch plays weren't necessarily there. It was a little sloppy, a little messy in some points. But I feel like Retribution are going to be able, with practice, to go ahead and really jump back in with, you know, both feet. So Retribution, I feel like, are going to be able to 2-0 Excellence coming in. Excellence may be able to take one game, but I think it's going to be Retribution really stepping through and showing us why they were first seed last time in the first place. So that is it for me. Hopefully this will be a weekly thing. Let me get some feedback, and hopefully I'm going to get you guys some FP. If I do not, then blame Adonis. Kappa. No, but hopefully I do. But thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And see you next week at the SCL.